Well, hey y'all, and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I am Susan, your hostess, and today we're going to be making a Mexican wedding cookie. It is out of this book. It's called Sunset Mexican Cookbook, Classic and Contemporary Recipes. I picked this up at a thrift store, and the recipe is found on page 111, and this is what they're supposed to look like. So, it's called Polvorones de Nuez. Polvorones de Nuez. I know I'm butchering the name, but this is one of our favorite cookies at Christmas time. Generally I will make a lot of cookies and give them out as gifts. This year I have just been doing up some Christmas recipes for two different cookie collabs. This one is not cookie collab related, but I wanted to share this recipe with you anyway because I was going to be making them, and it's very simple. So grab a pen and paper and I will tell you the recipe as we go along. The recipe calls for 1.5 cups or 3/4 pounds of butter or margarine at room temperature. This is some of the Amish butter that we buy in the Amish community that they can. And because this is 2 cups, I know approximately where to stop at, so I'll take everything above where my finger's at and put this into our mixing bowl. And hopefully it is softened enough that I will be able to work this. Okay, you're also going to need 3/4 pounds of powdered sugar. I am not going to measure this out except for 2 tablespoons that goes into the cookie dough. It calls for vanilla extract. This is La Vencedora, and it was donated to me by Lazy Days Ahead with Jess and Lisa. Very good brand of vanilla extract. It's going to take 1 egg yolk. This is my chicken egg. You'll see me crack that and separate my egg here in a moment. A 1/2 cup of chopped almonds, but I like mine with pecans or walnuts. And I will be using 1 teaspoon of the vanilla extract and 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour. So I've got all these ingredients measured out. We're going to begin by beating the butter until it's light and fluffy, and then we're going to beat in the 2 tablespoons of sugar, the egg yolk, and the vanilla and almonds. So I'm just going to move this out of the way and we'll get started. And I'm making beans for supper. We have a ham bone, so we're going to have a ham bone with beans, and that should be delicious. So I'm going to get this started. I'm going to scrape down my bowl, and then we're going to get our next ingredient in here. Save my spatula. We're going to beat in the egg yolk. These are farm fresh eggs. I always check them anyway in case I miss some when I'm going through collecting my eggs every day. And there's my egg yolk. We'll save the egg white for another recipe. And we're going to add in our vanilla. Our sugar. It's 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar and our chopped nuts, finely chopped. And I'm going to scrape my bowl down again. We're going to start incorporating the flour at this point. And at some point I may have to get my hands in there because this is a lot of flour to go into this. So we're going to do a little at a time, and hopefully we don't get it all over the kitchen. I'm using this on the lowest setting to try to get all that flour incorporated. And you'll notice I move my bowl back and forth to try to get it incorporated. And then I turn it up on about 5 or 6 and really get that going good to try to get all that flour incorporated. I'm just going to clean my beaters off real quick. And we're going to get our hands in here and start getting this formed into balls. I'm going to scrape it away from the sides. This is a dry cookie dough, crumbly, and you need to form it into a ball. So I'm just going in there with my hands and kind of squeezing and pressing it together. And that's pretty good right there. I'll show you what I'm talking about. And so there is the dough, and we're going to make this into pieces about the size of a large walnut, and we're going to roll it between our palms to form round balls, and we're going to place them 1.5 inches apart on an ungreased baking sheet. Flatten the ball slightly. We're going to bake at 275 degrees until lightly browned, about 45 minutes. Let cool on baking sheets until lukewarm. And then we're going to use powdered sugar to coat our cookies. I had to go let the dog out. I had to go make the bed because I was washing bedding today, and I had to take care of my beans. So we're back. So I am forming the ball, and basically you're going to roll it in your hand, and you want it about the size of a walnut. And I never flatten the bottom of them, but some people do, so it's your preference. Just like it's your preference as to what kind of nuts that you want in yours. So I know approximately how much I want in here. So the idea is to get them about the same size. And they don't have to be perfectly round. They're homemade. And so I'm going to keep doing this until I've got my sheet filled. Depending on how big you make your cookie balls, you'll get between 30 to 36 cookies. So 2.5 to 3 dozen. And I made these a little bit larger, I think, than a walnut. So we've got 31 cookies on here. These are going into a hot 275-degree oven for 45 minutes. Well, the timer's going off, y'all. Let's see how we did on these. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. They look good. So I'm going to turn my oven off because I've got them all on this tray. And I'm going to let these cool for a few minutes. And then we're going to get them with some powdered sugar on them. And then we're going to do a little bit of presentation for you. Okay, I'm not going to use as much sugar as I say. And the reason I'm doing this is so y'all can see you really don't have to do 1/8 of an inch of sugar on each cookie. But I am going to sift my powdered sugar into this bowl. I'm going to start with about 1/2 cup. Drop that back down in there. And this is just a little sifter we picked up at an antique store or a thrift store, I can't remember. But you do want to sift it so it won't be clumps. Break those clumps up in there a little bit. All right. And I'm going to get a paper towel and lay it out on my counter. Because I'm going to probably dip these more than once. And I'm going to use these cute little mini cake liners in festive paper, and we're going to put them in a really cute little container to say we were giving them for a gift. So basically, I'm just going to coat these. And the first coat is not going to be that much, as you can see. Now, you could stop there. I mean, they don't have to have a thick coat on them. But you do want your cookies semi-cooled before you start doing this, or your sugar is going to melt. And that way, I can show you how I dip them. And see, they flatten on the bottom anyway, so there's really no sense of trying to flatten them yourself when you're putting them in the oven. So they look like little snowballs when you're finished. And this way you're not wasting all your powdered sugar either. Let's get both hands in there. These are just so tasty, y'all. Doesn't have a whole lot of sugar on them and or in them, but yet you're still getting that sweetness that you're looking for from a cookie. Okay, I've got 12 of them done, so I'm going to start re-dipping these. So now we're going to have our second coat compared to our first coat. So this will go into a cookie liner. I think that's more than enough sugar on there, but if you want to go a third coat, you're more than welcome to do that. But I always try to do mine up with just 2 coats. So I'm putting them in the papers as I go. And if you need more sugar, you can always add it to your bowl that you're mixing these in, or you're dipping these in. Now you can sprinkle them, put some wax paper and a cookie sheet and just sprinkle them. It's totally up to you as to how you want to go about getting these rolled into that powdered sugar. Move that bowl out of the way. Let me clean my hands up and we will look at these. One way you can gift these is these cute little containers. You can buy them at Walmart or at just about any place. And you can put 2 layers of these cookies in here. Place a piece of parchment or wax paper between the layers, allowing them to cool completely before you apply the cute little lids that come with it. Really nice little gifts. Or if you're having a party, you can always put them out on a platter or on a cake plate, a decorative cake plate, and serve them this way. Well, y'all, They are beautiful and very, very tasty. I promise you that. Your family will love you, and thank you for making these. They are so, so good. Would you like to try one? Look how beautiful they are. I call them my little snowballs at Christmas time, but they are Mexican wedding cookies. So let's take a bite and try them out. Mmm. Mmm. So decadent and delicious. Let me get a drink. Well, friends, Patches the gingerbread man approves of these, and he wants you to try the recipe. Isn't that right, Patches? There they are, folks. Yum, yum. Thank you for watching, friends. I wish you a very Merry Christmas, and may you be fully blessed.